Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. I am your host, Chris Shanisell, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. And, of course, we're getting set for the 2017 NFL Draft. We are presented by the College Gridiron Showcase. Visit cgsallstar.com, as well as the brand new and free NFLDraftBible.com website, where you can find scouting reports and player interviews such as this one and more. So again, NFLDraftBible.com, it's the place to be. And joining the Player Spotlight Show now is one of the top pass rushers in the country. You can certainly make a solid case that he is the top pass rusher coming out of the FCS. We're hitting up Youngstown State, where we can find defensive end Derek Rivers. And Derek, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to join the show this evening. How's this draft process treating you?
It's going good, man. It's a blessing. I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far. A lot of people say that guys get overwhelmed and it's a long process, man, but it only happens once, so you just got to enjoy it.
Exactly. And you know what, Derek? I know that it's a dream for just about every college athlete to go pro in their respective sport, whatever sport it is that you're participating in college. I know just about every athlete wants to go pro. When did it hit you that you had a legit shot at furthering your football playing career and getting a look at in the National Football League?
I mean, it's something that I've always dreamed of since I was 5 years old, man. My dad played football and basketball at Virginia Tech, and I knew playing in college was something that I always wanted to do, and I knew playing in the NFL is something that I always wanted to do since I was little, man. So, but it really stuck after during my sophomore year, man. One of my coaches told me that, man. He was like, "Listen, I think you're starting to break out into the player that we want you to be, and you have a shot as long as you continue to work." But I mean, it was my sophomore year, so it was a long shot from there, man. But it's crazy how far God can take you, man. He got a plan for everybody, and he's blessed me beyond what I deserve. So I mean, it's been an awesome experience.
And the man upstairs has a big plan for you, and we're seeing that right now. I mean, 37.5 sacks, 56.5 tackles for loss throughout your illustrious collegiate career. Derek, what's your secret? How are you able to make it look so easy? How are you able to make your presence felt in the backfield so consistently, week in and week out?
Just faith in God and working for Him. Rather than working for ourselves, man, just finding something that you play for, and I play to bring glory to His name. And so that's something that, I mean, that's something that always stuck with me, like when I felt like I was tired, or He gave me strength to push through. And so, like, week in and week out, it was like, man, I'm not playing for myself, I'm playing for Him. And so, like, I know if I do my part and I just work hard for Him and don't get comfortable, He'll take care of the rest. So I mean, that's kind of how I took it week by week, man, and just enjoyed it because it's a blessing. Not everybody gets the opportunity to. I mean, not let alone this opportunity. I mean, just before that, everybody doesn't get the opportunity to play college football, man. So that's something that you have to cherish. That's a blessing in itself, or just good health, period, to play the sport of football. You know what I mean? So many kids out there with diseases and I mean people out there that because of their health they can't play sports in general or let alone walk in the morning. So I mean it's just something that you have to sit there and thank Him for the many blessings that he gives us.
And, of course, the game of football has brought you a lot. I mean, in education there at Youngstown State. Now, I mean, you're looking to make it your job. So, obviously, it's just a huge blessing, like you said. And this past season, Derek, the Youngstown State Penguins, I love that mascot, first off, the Penguins. You got to love that. You guys surprised many by making it to the FCS National Championship game. I think if you were to ask many people before the season, I don't know how many people would have had you guys going that far into the playoffs, but you guys did it. Unfortunately, you guys did come up just short, 28-14 against James Madison. But describe the season you had both individually and as a team. I mean, you had a career high in tackles, sacks, and tackles for loss. Here we are, 58 tackles, 14 sacks, and 19.5 tackles for loss. Obviously, you would have loved for your career to end with a national championship victory, but nonetheless, I have to think that you're very happy and satisfied with what you and your team were able to do, not only this year, but the past 4 years of yours at Youngstown State.
No, most definitely, man. And we knew, like this past season, man, just speaking on the season, this past season, we knew we had a championship caliber team. It was just a matter of getting over. It was more mental than anything, man. Like, we knew we had the talent. It's just a matter of everybody sticking together. And as far as like individual goes, man, I gotta thank my teammates for most of that because I couldn't get that done. Honestly, like I say, without God, I give him all the glory and all the honor. And without my teammates, man, I mean, them boys in the middle, like 2 of our D tackles had 4 or 5 sacks apiece. And then Avery Moss on the other side, who's a heavily recruited guy, heavily big NFL prospect. That's my best friend and like my brother in Christ. So like he, over the summertime, man, we pushed each other. We compete with one another, and we try to make. And the whole goal with that competition is making each other better. He helped me work on things that he was better at and he was good at, and then I helped him with things that I was better at than him. And so, like, just with that connection, man, it was awesome. And with the linebackers, DBs behind me, man. I mean, we had the number 2 pass. I think it was number 2 pass defense in the country. So, I mean, like we got a lot of sacks. A couple of those, man, a good majority of those were cover sacks because of our DBs and our linebackers doing their job in that back seven. So I give a lot of credit to my teammates as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned Avery Moss, the guy playing opposite side of you, the other defensive end spot on that D-line, a guy that was at the Shrine game. I believe he's also going to the NFL Combine with you as well in Indianapolis in just a couple of weeks. Another guy to look out for. And we're sponsored by the College Gridiron Showcase. I was able to see both 2 of your teammates, David Rivers, one of those defensive backs that you were talking about, and running back Jody Webb. Again, a couple more talented guys that are also looking to get a look in the NFL. You talk about your teammates. Let's talk about coaches, Derek. I mean, what was it like to play for a coach such as Bo Pelini, a guy who is his specialty is defense? What was it like to play for him, and what kind of impact has he had in your 2 years playing under him?
It was awesome, man. I mean, Bo's an NFL guy. He's an NFL guy. Started out in the NFL. Smart guy, a genius, defensive genius, man. I mean, he knows in and out. I mean, that's what he brought to everybody here at Youngstown was bigger IQ, just the knowledge that he has of the game and the knowledge of the different techniques that he teaches and that he likes to run in his defense. Man, is different. I mean, our whole defense is a systematic defense. So if one person is out of their gap or one person isn't doing the job, I mean, it could go for 6. So that puts more pressure on us. Like, you have to do your job or this could really go bad. So I mean, it's very. His defense is very unique, and I learned a lot from it. I mean, and just from his experiences and how he carries himself and coaches our teams and brings the type of culture that NFL teams have or the type of culture that a championship team needs. And so, I mean, Coach Bo is somebody I think very highly of, man. I can call him to this day. He's a player's coach, and he'll do anything for us, man. I love Coach Bo to death.
And that's great to hear that you could have that relationship with a coach, even if you are just with him for 2 years and not the entire 4 or even 3 or even 5. Some guys that redshirt. So that's awesome. That's great to hear. Certainly an impressive resume Coach Bo Pelini has. Now, Derek, last month you made a business trip down to Mobile to play in the Senior Bowl. What was that whole experience like, being able to go toe to toe with some of the top prospects in the country? And how do you feel you fared against that legit top competition that really you won't find in any other All-Star game?
Oh, it was a blessing, man. I mean, at the FCS level, you only get to play against some guys for a week each season. Mm-hmm. So every year, I mean, every 365 days, you get 1 week to play against those caliber guys. And I mean, honestly, man, from FCS to FBS, there's no difference in the level of competition, man. It's just a matter of depth. Don't get me wrong, them guys were huge, but it was cool to play against guys that you. If you have an afternoon game, you see one of the bigger games that's on TVs, you get to actually see and play against and play with guys that you hear their name called on ESPN every Saturday and just get to see them in action, like in person. So it was awesome, and just getting to know the guys, pretty much the big guys on campus from those other schools, man. It was awesome to meet those guys and network with those guys, with people that I'll be seeing for the next 2, 3, or how many every years we'll be playing. Right.
And you know what? Your stock has been rising ever since the Senior Bowl. Up next, we have the NFL Combine in just a couple of weeks, and then, of course, your Pro Day. I know you've been getting ready, training for those events coming up. I mean, can you tell us where you're training at and give us a taste as to what your training schedule has been looking like?
Most definitely. I've been training at Ignition in Cincinnati, Ohio, with Cliff Marshall. Cliff is one of the best guys to do it, man. I mean, he trains the mind, body, and spirit. Ignition is a faith-based facility, and it's one of the best in the country. They put some of the best numbers out there at the Combine and Pro Days each year. Schedule for our days, we'll get up 9 in the morning, have meetings at Ignition, and then we do our speed and our field work and our position work and combine work in the mornings, have lunch at like noon, and then we hit it back again with a lift at like 1. And we do that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then Tuesday and Thursday is like our recovery days.
Again, we're chatting with the 2017 NFL Draft prospect, Derek Rivers, the pass rush specialist out of Youngstown State University, here on the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. Don't forget to check out this interview as well as more NFL Draft material over at NFLDraftBible.com. And Derek, just a few more questions for you, then we'll let you go. Really appreciate you taking some time tonight. Talking about opponents and playing in the toughest conference in the FCS in the Missouri Valley, who do you feel is the best player that you've lined up against? Is there anybody specific that sticks out?
Players? Man, this year I'd say Landon Leshler from North Dakota State. He was a pretty good player. I mean, their whole team they're great players, man. He's a good one. I mean, he's a big kid, and he has pretty good feet. So and he plays hard. I say he was a good player, and then honestly, man, Cooper Kupp, that joker there, and he's something else. He's a different type of guy, man, different type of receiver, and just the type of character, man, that he plays. I mean, plays with. I mean, he's not a guy that's gonna talk. He's gonna go out there and get it done. And I mean, he's just a nice guy, period, man. I mean, he was at the Senior Bowl, so I knew him just from playing against him in the playoffs, and we had multiple conversations. I mean, he's just the nicest guy ever, man. Even on the field, man, he makes sure that he like I said, he's not one that's gonna talk trash or anything like that. When one of our players got hurt during our game, he walked over to him to make sure he was okay. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't get a better guy than that, man. I mean, he's awesome food, and his character. I mean, his play on the field doesn't reflect the type of character that he has.
And that says a lot. And that right there says a lot, Derek, because he's not the all-time leading wide receiver in the history of the FCS for no reason. So like you said, a couple of great players there, and again, they're also looking to make this journey to the NFL. Let's say you had to choose one game out of your entire collegiate career for a scout to go back and watch. What game would that be? Do you have one in mind?
I either like the Illinois State game from this past year and or Eastern Washington game. That was a pretty one.
All right. And let's say you could give yourself a brief scouting report, Derek. What would you say is your biggest strength, and what is one thing that you feel the need that you could still improve on?
I improve on everything, honestly. My biggest strength is I say my pass rush ability. But with saying that, I definitely think I could work up and open up a wider range of pass rush moves as well, as far as like working on my hands and just adding more moves to my toolbox.
What do you feel separates you from any of the other pass rushers in this year's draft class?
My work ethic, man. I'm gonna work harder than I mean, I say I'm gonna work hard, but as far as like my work ethic, man. Like I said, I play for the Lord, so I compete for Him, and I'm a competitor. I love competition. I love the game of football. I mean, my passion and my work ethic for the game, and just my focus on the field. I mean, it's just what you have no problems with me off the field. I'm gonna come in and give you my everything. Whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna do. So I mean, if you need me on special teams, I'm there. I mean, if you need me to back somebody up, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm somebody that learn. I'm a quick learner, but my work ethic is what's gonna separate me.
Absolutely. I mean, just get on the field and you're there to make plays. I mean, there's no doubt about that. We've seen that the past 4 years now. Throughout your career, you have been playing with your hand in the dirt. Are you expecting to do that at the next level in the NFL? Because I'm sure there are some teams that may be looking at you as a 3-4 outside linebacker. How do you feel about that?
I like it a lot, man. I love standing up. I mean, we did it a little bit this year as far as like just rushing. But I like it a lot, man. I mean, I like standing up. You see everything. You see everything a little more clear than when you have your hand in the dirt. But I mean, if my hand's in the dirt, I mean, it's something that I've played with for the last 4 years, so I'll be able to do that as well. But I feel totally comfortable standing up, covering, doing whatever they need me to do.
You know, open to doing whatever you need to help a team win. Gotta love it. Now, here's one of my favorite questions to ask these NFL draft prospects, Derek. Is there a current or former NFL player that you kind of try and model your game after, maybe take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
Nah, most definitely, man. Like I said, I love the pass rush. So I watch, if I'm watching, like we have NFL film in Youngstown. If I'm watching film on guys, I like watching the best at what they do. So the guys that are the best at my position of what they do now are like Von Miller, Khalil Mack. So if I'm watching speed rush, I'm watching Von Miller. If I'm watching power, different power rushes like long arms and speed the bull, I'm watching Khalil Mack or Justice Houston and guys of that nature. Those guys are the best at what they do. So I mean, when you watch the best, you get better from it because you watch how technical they are, the types of techniques they use, how fast they get off, their stance. I mean, every little bit of their game. If you could take if you can take away from it, I mean, it's only gonna make you a better player.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with trying to watch it and learn from the best. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Final question for you, Derek. Really appreciate your time. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're tuned in. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the defensive end, the pass rush specialist out of Youngstown State, Derek Rivers, a part of their team? How are you going to help their organization go to the top and win a Super Bowl?
Like I said, you get a tough kid, a blue collar type kid coming from Youngstown State. You're gonna get somebody that, like I said, his work ethic is that he's gonna do more than just what's asked of him. And off the field issues, you have no off the field issues. You need him on special teams. He's there. He'll do whatever he needs to do to make the team better. And as far as like in the locker room, man, I bond with everybody. I'm a personable guy. I love just being around people. I'm good with everybody. So, I mean, you can get everything from me, and you're best foot forward. So, I mean, like I say, I do more than just what's asked of me, and that's the type of player that they're going to get.
Sounds great, and you know what? I believe 100% of it, Derek. I really appreciate you taking some time to chat. I know your schedule is looking really crazy right now, and it's only going to get crazier from here. Best of luck in a couple of weeks at the NFL Combine. We'll definitely see you out there, and we're really looking forward to seeing what your future holds. I have a feeling that you're going to be making a lot of plays on Sundays, and can't wait to see where you land. Again, thank you very much for your time, and we're really wishing you all the best, man. Thanks so much for being so humble and gracious with your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.